You lie down, the room goes dark, and then it starts. A conversation you had 3 years ago, a bill you forgot to pay, the way you said something wrong last Tuesday. Your brain, which barely kept you functional during the afternoon meeting, suddenly becomes the most powerful machine you own. It solves problems you didn't ask it to solve. It replays scenes you would rather forget. It asks questions that have no answers at midnight. And you wonder, what is wrong with me? Nothing is wrong with you. In fact, everything is working exactly as it was designed to. The problem is that your brain wasn't built for the world you're living in. It was built for a different world entirely, one that ended roughly 10,000 years ago. Here's what no one tells you about the racing thoughts that keep you awake. They are not a malfunction. They are the oldest survival system your species ever built, running perfectly in a world it no longer recognizes. Let's start at the beginning. For almost the entire history of your species, roughly 300,000 years, you did not sleep alone. You slept in a group. You slept on the ground, surrounded by other bodies, in open air, where predators were real and darkness was genuinely dangerous. Sleep, for most of your evolutionary history, was not a retreat. It was a calculated risk. Every time you closed your eyes, you made yourself vulnerable to everything the night contained. Matthew Walker, a neuroscientist at UC Berkeley and author of Why We Sleep, has spent decades studying what the sleeping brain actually does. His research makes something clear that most people never learn. Your brain never fully turns off at night. Certain regions become more active during sleep, not less. The brain is doing serious work. It is processing the day, sorting memories, tagging experiences by emotional weight, deciding what matters and what can be let go. The stillness of your sleeping body is deceptive. Inside, there is constant motion. But here is the part that changes how you see everything. Your brain ramps up its threat detection circuits just before sleep. Not during sleep, before it. In the final minutes before you lose consciousness, your brain runs a sweep. It checks, it reviews, it flags anything unresolved, anything uncertain, anything that might represent a danger during the hours you are about to spend unconscious and exposed. This is not anxiety. This is an ancient alarm protocol, and it has been running inside every human who has ever lived. Think about what that protocol meant for your ancestors. A hunter-gatherer lying down in the dark at the edge of the camp is genuinely vulnerable. If a predator moves toward the group while everyone sleeps, someone needs to be close enough to the surface of consciousness to hear it. The group needed its members to remain partially alert through the night. So the brain evolved a system to keep the mind scanning even in the hours of rest. What did I miss today? What isn't resolved? Is anything out there? That system lives inside you right now. It has never been turned off. It was never told you moved indoors, that the doors lock, that no lion has walked through your neighborhood in thousands of years. It just runs. Every single night. Right on schedule. A team at Harvard led by sleep researcher Robert Stickgold found that the sleeping brain doesn't merely rest. It actively replays recent memories, especially emotionally charged ones, in a process now called memory consolidation. The brain replays your day like footage, attaching emotional significance to what happened, deciding which memories are worth keeping in long-term storage and which can be erased. But Stickgold's work revealed something stranger still. The brain doesn't begin staging this consolidation process when you fall asleep. It begins before. The mental review that keeps you up, the replay of this morning's argument, the worry about tomorrow's deadline, is your brain trying to begin its most important nightly work before consciousness goes offline. Your ancestors needed this desperately. You needed to remember which path led to the river and which led into territory controlled by a rival group. You needed to remember which face belonged to a threat and which belonged to an ally. You needed to tag the dangerous encounter as more important than the pleasant afternoon, because the dangerous encounter could still kill you and the pleasant afternoon could not. Emotional weighting is how your brain decides what to keep, and it runs this process at night, because night is when the brain was designed to do it. Here is the counterintuitive twist. The process is ancient. The content is modern. Your brain is running its 10,000-year-old threat detection and memory tagging protocol on a 21st century problem set. If you want to see more content like this, don't forget to follow and leave a like.